Hello there, synthetic thinkers. I'm Himang Joshi. I am AI and DeFi developer at the Team Token Minds, where we promise to deliver webinars on the cutting edge technologies every week. So, first, before that, let's understand what is AI doing. AI is revolutionizing business operations. Yes, it is. It is automating repetitive tasks. It is making real-time decisions to respond to the changing market trends. It is managing complex processes across the globe operations. It is giving data insights through more accurate analysis. It is giving good prompts when you are giving onto the AI. It is solving many needs. It is doing whatnot right now. But it still have its limitations. So now let's try to understand what are the current AI limitations and challenges. The current AI limitations and challenges are data cutoff. That knowledge ends at the model training data, which means basically if I bring out LLM data, LLM model in the production, the knowledge ends there. Like the knowledge is only going until the training stage, and then there is the static insight, that is its limited ability to interact with the real time data. Like the LLMs are able to reason with, but they cannot really do good research. They are not really good with the real time data and static insights. And that is which brings out to the next, which is tool fragmentation, that it is having difficulty in seamlessly integrating with business systems. Like although you have been seeing that everything around you is in AI, but the workplace where you are going and whatever you have been interacting it with, it is not integrated really, right? Like for example, your workflow on your pipeline are still working the same, and then comes a part that it's having a customization barriers. Like it is hard to tailor solutions for specific industries. Like if I really want to implement AI into supply chain, it is just theoretical right now. It is not really being done. So it's a kind of hard to tailor solutions for specific industries to make customizations and whatnot. So what's the solution? The solution brings out our new AI maximalist called the Model Context Protocol. Now, how it will work, where it will work, is it going to be successful or not? It's gonna take off. We're gonna know that in a course of time. But before that, it's a responsibility to explain what the hell is this thing. So, what is MCP? So basically, the Model Context Protocol is launched by again Anthropic, which is, if you have been using Claude, then Anthropic is also, like Claude is also launched by Anthropic. So it is a methodology or system for controlling and managing how large models like their Claude AI interact with users within a defined scope of context. So basically, MCP ensures that interactions are effective, they are efficient and ethical by managing how the AI access and utilizes the information. Did you got it? No? So don't worry. I am present over here to explain this with an analogy. Now imagine Cloud is a librarian in an enormous library, like say Library of Congress, the world's biggest library. Now you walk into the library, the librarian is representing all the knowledge that she has and she can access. The model context protocol is like the rule that guides this librarian on how to help you to find the right information. Now what it's going to do is that it's going to first define the scope. Now the librarian, the Claude in this case, doesn't show you the entire library when you ask a question. Instead, MCP narrows it down towards you to get the scope of the, like to like narrows down to you to a relevant section of the library, and and this ensures that you get focus, context awarenesses, and have a good and it's saving a lot of your time. And now comes the next point, which is the efficient information use. So when you give librarians specific instructions, MCP ensures that they follow those instructions to provide answers tailored to your needs without going off topic. Now, just understand this in a sense, like if you are an MCU fan or something like that, and if you have been watching series, think of like Claude as Eddie from the Venom, and MCP is just the Venom on the top of it. So basically, you are able to, or think of librarian as Tony Stark, and uh, MCP as a suit. So basically Tony Stark is engulfed in his suits to do whatever the things that you want to do in a more efficient way. So when I say efficient information use, what I mean is that when you give librarian the specific instructions, it ensures that you follow those instructions to give to provide answers tailored to your needs without going off topic. Now, I just went off topic, right? Like I went from Venom to Tony Stark, but that was just for the sake of making you understand. But it prevents. But if you are asking questions to the chat GPT, and if a prompt is going, and if the output of the prompt is going off topic, you lose your minds because you are not really there to understand things from off the topic. Now, what it also do is that the librarian adheres to the rules about what kinds of information can be shared. For instance, they avoid sharing harmful or inappropriate content, maintaining a safe and ethical environment. And in the last is that it helps in dynamic memory management, which means that if you have an ongoing discussion, MCP helps the librarian remember your earlier questions without forgetting it. Now, imagine like you are having a discussion and librarian forgets and then just trying to give you prompts out of nowhere. Then it's going to be a very like a very irrelevant situation. So basically, it does not let us forget the past questions as long as they are relevant, so that you don't get confused or overwhelmed. Now, let's understand why is MCP revolutionary for businesses. Because MCP has the four broad let's say advantages that can be helped to revolutionize business, and which is real-time data access. It can do two-way communication, it has customizability, and it can do automation of complex workflows. By real-time data access, I already said that it, unlike the traditional AI that was only limited to the trained knowledge, MCP is able to retrieve information up to date by using, let's say, RAG methodology, and it might be having multiple RAGs which is communicating to a central database where every information is going, and like it just making sure that the information which it is trained on is getting automatically updated. And then with this, it can have a two-way communication. That means that AI can retrieve data, analyze it, and then act on it, getting an end-to-end solution for operational efficiency. And then obviously there is the automation of workflows. Like basically, it can be integrated into a business. Let's say it can be integrated in Slack, Replit, Google Maps, and make your workflows more automated. And then customizability, like if you want to mold it into certain aspects, it can be molded, but it can be molded with the powerful APIs or SDKs made on the Pythons and TypeScript, the most widely used languages, and which brings water the amount of the open source contributors. Now, which comes to a part that key features of the MCP. And when I said open source, I meant open source because the MCP is open source and universal, which means that MCP is compatible with any AI model. It can be open, like it's the open source design encourages it to get integrated and bring more innovation to the developer community. So why does it matter is that businesses can adopt and adapt MCP to their specific workflows. If the new startups can build startups around adapting MCP into their workflow, making the use more efficient. And we are in Web3 space, and we all know how much we love about open source and universal. And don't let me dive into it because MCP won't get distracted, but I will. And the next part is plug and play integration and design, which means that MCP supports easy integration of tools, allowing businesses to swap tools or metals or models. Which why is it this matter? Because flexibility means that the business can evolve their tech around without disrupting operations. Now let's come to the part where I explain that the MCP tools and SDKs set custom solutions every need are obviously the file management system that they have created a managed file securities such as automating document creation or assets. It has integrated with GitHubs to have streamlined repository management for development teams. Then the Slack, then there is Puppeteer, Google Maps, and PostgreSQL. So it can enable read-only database access for structured data analysis, and then on the Slacks and Puppeteer and Google Maps. Now, how does it do is that by using the mouth-watering thing for developers, that is Python SDK and TypeScript SDK. I am a TypeScript developer, by the way. So with that comes to the part that use cases of MCP with Git integration. Now, how can MCP be used with Git integration? Now, let's try to understand that if you want to track the changes in codes. Now, what does MCP does in it and why it's useful is that if you want to track changes in the code, like basically, and if you want to summarize it over time, that what changes was happen, MCP is going to do it. I mean, and why it is useful, that it's gonna save you time by avoiding to go onto the long commit history to understand which part of code was changed into which commit history and whatnot. And then it can identify contributors who has contributed to a specific part of code or modules, and you can understand that. And like it can be very useful in understanding what contributor has contributed to which part of code. It can be understand to debug, it can be help to assign task, or locate experts for troubleshooting in case of any API going down or something like that. And then it's able to spot problem areas, which basically means that highlights frequently changed files or recurring bugs. We all know that when we are building an application, the bug which is coming in the one file is not really coming from the one file, is coming from the files 10 file we had in 10 folders, something like that. Now imagine it is able to spot those problem areas, and then you can, and then it can highlight it, then so then you can prioritize areas for refactoring or additional testing, and save time into manual review, going back to all those things. And then it understand the feature evolution, that it maps out the development timeline of features from initial implementation to the current version. It understand how the evolution took place, and it simplifies the understanding of past decisions and future growth. And then it also analyzes the repository activity, which means that it summarizes active branches, the branches which are not active, what are the merge histories, what are the potential integration issues, just like I said. And then so basically it is ensuring the smoother project management and highlights problematic mergers easily. And we are not stopped there. We uh, like it just goes on to secure your code base, and it's going to improve your team collaboration. Like it can analyze the commit patterns, identify team activity and collaboration levels. It can optimize the test coverages, it can manage documentation updates, and it can analyze project health metrics. And if you want to go back and understand how each one of these is said, you can pause the video and you can understand it. Basically, the what MCP is doing is that it is making sure that your workspace environment, which was earlier mostly manual, like we have been using Copilot, but Copilot is only restricted to just one file. And if you really want to understand what is happening, how the integration of files are working together to create a bug, MCP is going to be highly useful in that part. So if you are a business partner, which comes bring to our last part, that if you are a business partner and if you want to integrate MCP into your business workflow, you can contact us. We have a team of experts that are developed here, that are working to make sure that your business workflows are highly integrated and easily done end to end. So thank you, stay tuned, and I'll be back with a new cutting edge AI trends in my next webinar. Until then, see you again, synthetic thinkers. Bye bye.